good vibes, because we had planned on having Justin Watkins in for an extended period of time while we're here at his place, Battleborn Injury Lawyers, to talk about conference chaos, because there's so much legal stuff on that one. And then last night got really crazy with UNLV football. Matthew Sluka, their starting quarterback, sends out a message that he's making a claim. He's leaving. We can get into that. We'll get into the storytelling on this whole thing for both sides. Lots of statements. There was an interview today with the agent who's representing Matthew Sluka. We'll try to pull that. That happened a little while ago, and I heard there were some interesting statements to get with Marcus Cromartie on. We did reach out to Marcus Cromartie. He has yet to answer to come on the show. So he did go on nationally, which I was a little worried about, that he went on national and he's not going to want to talk to the Vegas audience. So we'll see. We'll see. The cutoff's 90 minutes or else.
Not the news I thought was going to be coming out of UNLV today.
No. We figured hour by hour there's going to be some sort of decision when it comes to the conference chaos. But let's start with Sluka.
Yep.
So it starts last night. You read what he sent out.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Well, this is going to be an interesting test to see how far he goes with this. So Sluka's saying, hey, I was promised $100,000 if I transferred from Holy Cross and came to UNLV. I was promised this by an assistant coach at UNLV. And in later reports through his dad and through his agent, they specifically named the assistant coach. And then when I got here, the collective wasn't paying. We followed up on it. I hired an agent. So remember, at the point of, the quote unquote deal, he did not have an agent. He did it on his own. And so he gets an agent. The agent gets involved, goes to the NIL and says, hey, where's this 100,000? I think this is confirmed. Both Sluka's agent and the NIL say they told Sluka and his agent, we can't talk to you because you're not a registered agent in Nevada. You need to talk directly to the school, which is really surprising to me because the school can't do this directly. So why the NIL is directing them to the school is really questionable. I mean, we got to keep clear lines between the NIL and the football staff and the administration. Now, some NILs are in-house, but they are what's called Chinese walled off. They're separate. They're not allowed to share information.
So UNLV
in their statement says he came to us with demands. We interpreted those demands as pay to play, which is against the rules. And so we told him we would not participate in that. And Sluka says, okay, I'm out. I've got a redshirt season. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to go somewhere else. Now, reading between the lines on this, I think there's probably truth on both sides of this, but I would caution anybody to not jump on board against this kid or jump on board for this kid.
Oh, really?
Not jump on board for UNLV and not jump on board against UNLV, because while the UNLV statement sounds really strong, when you look at it, it is, and the NIL statement, both of them leave tons of holes that leave questions for me. If I'm a lawyer, I'm saying, wait. I think there's some room for Sluka's story to fit right into your statement, and you have not directly contradicted anything he said. Has not been contradicted. They didn't say we didn't promise him anything. They didn't say that. They didn't say that he didn't transfer based on some representations. They didn't say that he didn't that he demanded the money and what he was basing it off of what he believed had already been promised, not some future endeavor. So, I see there's a lot of Twitter conversation back and forth on this. That
Twitter attorneys.
Yeah. Well, that are saying like, oh, other players got in his ear, other schools got in his ear, and he was getting offered this money. So he went to UNLV and said, hey, match this or I'm leaving. UNLV did not say that. The NIL did not say that. So far, Sluka's story has not been contradicted.
That's right.
And I would just make that point. I would also say UNLV's story has not been contradicted, but UNLV's statement is way softer than Sluka's statement.
So to all those points, a couple of things. One is interpretation from our standpoint, what we see, what we've read, what's come across in terms of statements and claims and accusations. I'm right there with you when you say his story has not been challenged or contradicted. But where I'm sitting is I'm thinking when he says he was promised $100,000 and the coach that was named, right, was his recruiter, it could very well be that when he was being recruited, the conversation is, man, listen, Justin, we want to get you aboard. We want to make you a part of the show.
Yep.
You know, okay, how much of it? Listen, let's get you there. I'm sure that I can get you sponsored. I'm sure that I can get you some money. I'm sure I can get you $100K. You're going to, you have a chance to be you get QB1. Let's get the games going. Because that was one of the things he said, right? Once games are, we're going to get paid by game or something like that. We're going to get you. That doesn't mean that UNLV was on the hook for it. But what the player and the father and the agent here is that we're going to be able to get it. What I'm thinking is if he was promised that or that was said by said coach, it meant that they were going to do what they can to find someone to be that NLA. Hey, we're going to go to Battleborn. We're going to go to this one, that one, or the other company. And it just didn't happen. The reason UNLV can come out with such a strong statement is because they can't abide by that or honor that. So they're, like you said, they're telling the truth. They're not on the hook for the $100K. The two people that I think are at fault just on the surface so far is the assistant coach opening his mouth and throwing that offer out there, if it's true, number one. Number two, you're a lawyer. Where's the agent? We all saw Jerry Maguire get the ink dotted on paper. Nothing was signed. So you have a verbal commitment. Nobody has to abide by anything. So if just looking at it on the whole, now you're more obviously legal mind than I, but those are the two people that to me stand out. The assistant coach throwing that out there and the agent not getting anything on paper.
So I'm going to do a deep dive into legalese here to try to address that. And I hear your points, and I think that is the common reaction amongst the public to what's going on. First point I want to make, he did not have an agent at the time. He only got the agent when UNLV didn't pay. So he got the agent involved.
So I saw a different story. I'm just sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So he didn't have an agent at the time that he agreed to transfer. So everybody's out there saying, hey, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen, it's not enforceable, you should have got it in writing. That's not true. Every lawyer will say that. I've said this. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. We all say that, but that's not legally true. Oral agreements are just as enforceable, not lesser enforceable, just as enforceable as a written contract. Okay. Now, how do we go about proving the terms of an oral agreement? Well, there may be witnesses as to what was said and what was not said. There may be some text. There may be some emails. There may be some recordings for all we know. But here's the thing. You would put the assistant coach on the stand, ask him what he said. You would put Sluka on the stand and ask what he said and what he heard. And then the key component to it all is what's called detrimental reliance. Did one party rely on the representations of somebody else, the other party, and do something that was detrimental to them in order to effectuate the deal, i.e., transfer schools all the way across the country? So no doubt he's got detrimental reliance. Now, the question after that hurdle is clear is, were the terms clearly laid out? Was it like you said, we will go to bat for you? Or is it like, I can get that for you? Or, words matter, and what a jury would believe who's telling the truth. And it's also relevant if one party's in a more sophisticated position and is making representations to somebody else, in a way that they understand is not enforceable, but they understand that the other person thinks it is, it becomes enforceable. So when you're dealing with a 20-year-old kid and you're an assistant coach and you're just like, hey, I'll go to bat for you, and you hear in your head, that means nothing. I don't know if I can get it or not, but I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him, I don't know if I can get it. It's up in the air. We haven't got that much before. I'm not sure. He doesn't give any of those clarifiers. And he has a reasonable belief that that kid thinks that that's a deal, that that's 100,000. They're going to be held to that term. Now, I also disagree that UNLV's off the hook here. One of their staff members made the representation.
That's right.
So not only,
by the way, allegedly,
Allegedly.
because I have had sources say absolutely did not happen. Now, am I 100% confident in that? 98%.
yeah. So, well, okay, they never said that in the statement. You know,
They didn't bring in the assistant part in the
Yeah.
Either UNLV statement or related statement.
They never said in their statement from UNLV that nobody from our organization, from our university, made any such representations to him. They never said that.
No.
It would be a very easy thing to say and would sort of close the door on all of this if it were true. So I think we've got to leave that door open. So let's hypothetically, if somebody from UNLV staff made that sort of, let's just adopt your theoretical conversation, Willie.
Okay.
Let's say it happens exactly that way.
Right.
I think Sluka's got a good case, and it's a case against UNLV. If the NIL got involved and is like, yeah, we're on board with that, I think it's a case against the NIL. And on top of it, it's probably an NCAA violation that I'm sure the NCAA is already starting an investigation. Like, they have to.
Right, because if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to NIL,
Yeah.
the school cannot be involved. You can make your own deals, but the school cannot orchestrate or even say or imply, we will get that for you, even if it doesn't mean it's coming out of the collective.
Right. They cannot work with the collective. The collective has to be on their own. Now, there is this opening, and this is happening at some universities where they are bringing the collective in-house.
Right.
Just to make sure that there's quality people running the collective rather than just some boosters out there, not, doing stuff willy-nilly. But again, that in-house group has to be completely segregated from the university's team and management and athletic directors and all of that in order for that to be run in-house. Now, the university may pay them and all that stuff, but they have to be separate. They cannot work together. So, yeah, I mean, I have to believe the NCAA is going to open an investigation into this. The real question would be whether or not Sluka is actually going to file a lawsuit to try to collect this $100,000. I imagine from a PR perspective, he probably does not want to do that until at least he's gone to a new school and made the transfer.
On the way back, we'll address that whole PR thing because it was pretty rough this morning for UNLV before they finally put out some statements in that 11:45 to 12:30 range. Justin Watkins is here. You have to have an attorney on to touch this stuff. It is so crazy. There is so much legal stuff. Later on, we're going to get into the conference chaos. But right now, let's do a giveaway. 2 tickets, a Perfect Circle, Primus, and Pussifer next year, April 28th. We have the tickets early, but you can buy them right now as well. Ticketmaster.com, big show, Ticketmaster.com. 2 tickets, 364-1100. Caller 7, and Griffin will hook you up, 364-1100.
What happened in the arena?
The food's free.
Yeah.
You get like the most comfortable chair in the entire arena, and you get to like see the actual field. You're not like obstructed view behind the field goal.
Yeah.
Like this
No.
is perfect. You have to go.
This is like when somebody who's really hot doesn't have an OnlyFans and works retail or something. I'm like, what are you doing? Like you won the lottery and you're not even using it. Like most people would kill to be in that suite.
It's the arena with Greg Salerno, Wednesdays at 2.
Traffic is brought to you by Port of Subs. Stop in today or order at portofsubs.com or on our app.
Accident, Spring Mountain westbound at Valley View. Also, Torrey Pines just north of Sahara. 15 eastbound at Green Valley Parkway. Flamingo near University Center, and Charleston at Grand Central Parkway.
Traffic is brought to you by Port of Subs. Stop in today or order at portofsubs.com or on our app.
Craving the taste of Porta Subs? Get the fast track to flavor with our easy online delivery. Fresh baked bread, premium meats, cheeses, loaded with veggies and sauces. Get the Porta Subs taste you crave. Order online at portasubs.com or on our app for freshness at your fingertips.
Introducing the next-gen Acura Integra, featuring an available 6-speed manual transmission, a VTEC turbo engine, and available ELS Studio 3D audio system.
Legendary.
And its most important feature, you. The next-gen Acura Integra. Your turn.
Visit Finley Acura in the Valley Auto Mall or online at finleyacura.com.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. At my law firm, there's no fake courtrooms or fake anything. I go to real courtrooms and I get real results. Just in the past couple of years alone, I've had some of the biggest injury verdicts in the entire country. I've helped thousands of Las Vegans get paid after getting hurt. How much? Nearly $500 million in settlements. More than $130 million cases. No other Las Vegas lawyer can say that.
More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins.
It's showtime. We have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
To do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just into breaking news on the economic front.
So, whether it's late breaking
News,
bumper to bumper,
Avoid using Flamingo,
or clearing skies,
no showers anticipated.
it's News 3 Today.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play, like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn a $50 bonus bet on top of your original $50 or more deposit and wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features live and play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Backing down has never been an option for our family. Our father battled communism in Cuba before coming to the U.S. and studying law at night. Today, we proudly carry on that Castroverde family legacy.
As brothers raised to fight for what's right, care for those in need, treat clients like family, we bring the very best legal team to fight for you.
It's our heritage. It's the Castroverde way.
We're the Castroverde brothers.
And we have your back.
BrothersWin.com. It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Best golfers in the world return to Las Vegas for the Shriners Children's Open October 17th through the 20th. Food, drinks, and professional golf. Get your tickets at ShrinersChildrenOpen.com.
Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce on if it's hard to follow the get over a loss in 24-hour time period rule after a tough loss.
To be honest, yeah, it is. But it's early in the season, week 3. There's no panic button. We're not throwing out our parachutes and jumping off the plane. We're good. It's a loss, and it's a tough loss, and we move on.
Now back to Cofield and Company, live from the Battleborn Broadcast Center on ESPN Las Vegas.
So this, just to be clear, is not coming from Barry Odom. I have not spoken. I've reached out, but have not heard back. But I do know the man. And so I just, based on what I know about him and having, he was my coach for 3 years, I don't believe a word that's coming out of this kid's mouth or his representation or anything else.
TJ Moe, former Missouri player, now part of the Whitlock crew. Got certain views that line up with Jason Whitlock. So good timing today, right? With UNLV in the center of the college football news, which doesn't happen often, but it's been going on for like 4 days now. On the story that is still developing, we got a lot of updates, a lot of reports this morning, lots from the Sluka side, a little bit from the UNLV and collective side. TJ Moe knows Barry Odom, but he did not get any of this take from the coach. Listen to what he thinks happened with Sluka.
My guess, he walks into Barry Odom's office and says, hey, man, this is my last year. I'm not going to the NFL. I'm completing 43% of my passes. And so I need some more money. I got to make some money now, or this isn't going to happen. He walks in and says, here's what I need, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. And Odom's like, man, I don't have a magic wand. We got what we got. Let's win some more games, and you can probably get some more NIL deals as we go here. And so the kid goes back, starts calling these other coaches who may have already been calling him, by the way. They may have come in and said, hey, man, I see you're doing pretty well. You still got time to redshirt this year, just so you know. Put that in the back of your head. And we got a couple $100,000 for you over here at Mississippi State or Utah or Baylor or wherever else. He walks into Odom's office. Odom says, no. He says, I'm redshirting and I'm out. That is the problem with perpetual free agency.
Justin, what do you think of that telling of what could have happened?
Well, on the reentry there, we're saying, I don't believe a word out of this kid's mouth. It has not been contradicted by the NIL or by UNLV. You know, what the NIL said is we didn't formalize any agreements. So to me, when a non-lawyer is writing that, that means we didn't put it in writing. Doesn't mean we didn't have an agreement. It means we didn't put it in writing. And like I started off this whole segment with, is an oral contract is just as enforceable as a written contract. So formalized or not, so long as the terms of the agreement are clear, they will be enforced. And so I'm you know, I didn't go to UNLV, but I grew up here. You know, I think I'm pretty unbiased in this assessment when I look at these two sides. And I tend to think that what Sluka is saying is true only because nobody has contradicted it. They've taken these legalese. They said, you know, UNLV says it was our interpretation that he was asking for a pay to play. Okay. So you're putting us into your mindset. You're not putting us into his mindset. There is tons of room for there to be Sluka believed he was demanding what had been promised to him, but yes, you took it as a pay to play. And so you got out of it, which of course they would, because they're not the NIL. They're not the collective. Why the collective sent them to UNLV just does not make any sense to me. Like, why did they do that? And unless really, truly, the NIL had no idea that a UNLV representative had made these assertions. And, you know, again, we're assuming somebody made the assertion on behalf of UNLV. And so the collective's like, we don't know anything about that. You need to go talk to UNLV if they're the ones who made those representations to you. So I think UNLV could be in some hot water here. There's definitely going to be an investigation. There has to be. There has to be an investigation. And, is that recruiter telling everybody at UNLV? I never said anything like that. Well, things get real different when you get under oath. And they, like I said, they've Sluka's campus called them out by name. And you don't do that if you don't have something. I don't think. Yeah. And he's got an agent. The agent is a lawyer. They're clearly being advised now, legally speaking. And I would absolutely not put a name in there unless I knew I had something on that person.
Would Brendan Marion have legal recourse on this?
If he didn't have if he never made any such representation or anything along those lines, sure, right?
Should
state and fact.
You said UNLV, the statement was kind of soft. Is there a reason they did that? Because of legal concerns, or could they have come harder? I asked you this morning at like 8:30, as UNLV was kind of getting skewered all over social media, and people were just taking Sluka and saying, "Hey, he got cheated. How dare UNLV do that?" Could they have put something out earlier in the morning? So 2 questions: earlier to stem the tide, and stronger. Could they have done both?
Only stronger if you're stating fact. Right now, UNLV might be in a tough position because they got to go talk to everybody and figure out what the whole story is. Whoever's in charge of making a statement on behalf of the university is not the person who was involved in the intricacies of this whole fiasco. So now they got to take some time to get and talk to everybody and figure out what actually happened from UNLV's perspective before they make a statement. So I don't think that rushing to a statement early matters so much as being absolutely correct. And if you're going to put out a statement at all, other than we wish him well and just leave it be, if you're going to try to defend yourself in a statement, it should be definitive. And I do not believe this statement was definitive.
So we're going to hit this at 3:45, 4 o'clock, 4:20, 4:35. So it's a lot more is coming up. On the way back, though, I want to get you set up with what is happening with the Aces. Plenty to get to. And Caleb Herring is the former quarterback. Caleb is in towards the end of this hour on Cofield and Company.
You can stay in touch with your favorite stations and shows, no matter